Now, I'm starting to see a bounce in some of these stocks, like Palantir tonight in the after hours is trading 159. And to give you an idea, earlier today, Palantir, let me give it to you here. Yeah, Palantir was down at below 147. So it's made a rebound of about $12, in a 24-hour period. And that's usually a sign buying is starting to step in, okay? So I thought that was sort of interesting from that standpoint. I think I lost things here. Adam, it seems like I've lost something, I guess. I don't know. Lost my chat and that bar at the bottom.
Yeah, Tom, you're still good. We can
Hey,
still hear you.
T-Bones was just trying to get your audio on because Chuck was talking and you couldn't hear him.
Oh, I got you. Oh, I didn't know he was talking. Sorry, Chuck.
No, not a problem. Not a problem. I mean, the way this usually works, when I hear you start talking, I'm like, okay, it's your show.
Oh, I had it muted but anyway, no big deal. But I lost my bar, Adam. I don't see my bar.
I'll get it back. Just stop touching stuff.
Okay, hands off bar. Hands off bar.
The great thing about modern technology is that these guys can jump in and fix that while you're actually still giving the presentation. I mean, it's amazing what we can do with technology these days.
It really is, isn't it? When you think about it. Yeah.
Yeah. So, Tom, how'd you like that recovery in the market? I thought it was a little bit more than what I expected, to be honest with you, the way the market came up at the end of the day.
Well, Chuck, what happened, we went down, and I mean, RB1 was so long, and it was like a meltdown during RB3.
Right.
If you go look at it, we just low after low, and then we made a new low. I got it right here, just to give you an idea. On the SPX, we made a low. On the XSP, we made a low. On the TQQ, we made a low. Palantir made a low reference bar. The Diamond made a low reference bar. The QQQ made a low.
Tom,
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Typically, you don't see it have that type recovery. At most, you might get to the low of that low later on in the day. But if you remember, Genesis came in, and Genesis was positive, and then we traded up really the second half of the day, if you think about it.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you, there was one thing that I found really interesting, and this is something that you covered in Train and Trade, so I'm going to pick your brain on it. When you were talking about the SPX,
right.
you were talking about 60-point range, and
right.
that low being about 60 points below the open.
Right.
Where does that come from? Is that an average range?
Yeah, that's an average true range. I usually take a blended number. I'll look at the roadmap. I'll look at some other sources, but generally speaking, I'll round it off. It's not exact, but when we got down there this morning, I took profit. Remember, I showed you where I bought a put for $200 and sold it for $790, and
right.
I was looking for a place to take it, and I said, well, about 60 points below is a good spot. And it was actually almost at the low. And that option that I sold for $7.90 ended up closing at zero with that reversal in the second half of the day. And so I felt pretty good about that because
I just remember as you talked about it, I got a little bit of hope that the market might recover, and recover it did. So I thought that was a great point that you made. Very timely, and kind of worked out. And I'm wondering, do you take that same philosophy into the next trade date?
Sure. Yeah. In other words, I will look. Here's the way I do it, Chuck. I take RB3, which is the cash market in the morning, and I'll write down on stocks or tickers I'm interested in, I will write down the opening price and the high and low. And then, if they break that low, I'll write red out there. If they go above that high, I'll write green out there. And the only stock, I told people today I bought it was Ethereum ETH. It was green and it stayed green all day. And then I looked over there at a summary, and it was up, 6% today. So I guess it did stay green, And but the point is that I do that exercise on tickers. I can't do all of them, but I do it by hand on tickers I'm interested in trading that day.
Yeah, right now my main interest, I'm really looking forward to tomorrow's train and trade to find that next little tidbit, because that one was a great advantage. We get another one tomorrow, I'm writing it down in the book. I'm going to be using those moving forward.
Well, Chuck, I learned this really the hard way, right? Hard knocks, and I remember these things when I see them, and I call them insights. You might say insights. Like here's an insight that just came to mind. If the market's down real hard overnight or up real hard overnight, you can expect the first 10 minutes of the trade day, 9:30 to 9:40, to be in the opposite direction, because the guys on the floor don't know any more than the people here, and they'll shade it down where they can get long or get short, whichever the case might be. But that's something that you notice, especially if you trade options, how they want you to, you just got to sort of, hold tight if you're long and it's been up all night and it's going higher. Hold tight, because usually by 9 or by 10 o'clock Eastern time, that sucker's soaring, and you don't want to sell out at the low of the day, which is in that first 10 minutes.
Well, I'll tell you what, we're getting tidbits both in train and trade and in Wednesday night on the web, and I'm sure you've got more coming in this presentation.
Oh, absolutely, Chuck, I do. And I told people on the reminder, we might, it looks to me like you're starting to see signs of buying stepping back in. And I say that when I gave the example of Palantir, which has been one of the leaders. It was down at 143, and right now Palantir is at 159. Now that's got to carry through to tomorrow and be higher than 159, and I'd be looking for that in the morning at 9:30. Is Palantir higher than 159? If it does, it's probably telling you, hey, we are gonna retrace back up, because it went down. I had a big number, Chuck. You like numbers, but that 63.75 was my big number for the month. And I said, we closed below that, August could be in doubt. And sure enough, we held it and we bounced off of it fairly decent. I think if you get above today's high, which was 64.38, then you got a low in place. That's what I'd be looking for to fill out the picture. So you might write that number down tonight, 64.38. You see the S&P get above 64.38, you probably got a low in place from today. And that's an early look at what I'm looking for tomorrow, if that makes any sense. But
certainly feels that way. And we do have Walmart reporting and retails.
Yeah, we do have Walmart, and I didn't look at Walmart tonight, but let me look at Walmart real quick, because that's a good point. Walmart was holding over 100. I don't know how it ended up today. 102.50. So Walmart has moved up from, generally speaking, where it traded all day, and I think that's probably a good sign. They'll come out before the cash market tomorrow, so everybody, all eyes will be on Walmart, because that's going to tell you a lot about a lot of things that people think about.
And the economy. And if the other retailers are any sort of indication of what Walmart is going to be, you're going to have kind of a lukewarm report. Might be a little bit good, might be a little bit bad, probably a little bit flat. It's the guidance that's really going to push this thing forward. If Walmart, listen, if the Walmart executives are saying that the next quarter is going to be great, I say believe them.
Oh, definitely you would believe it. Walmart, it's amazing that started out of Bentonville, Arkansas, by a guy named Sam Walton. Can you imagine that thing in our lifetime has just become a part of everyday life, Walmart?
Yeah, can't imagine going to an American city without finding a Walmart.
Yeah, Shelby just returned from Walmart, said the store was busy and the lines are long. That's the story of Walmart, isn't it? Goodness. A lot of things that are going good. A couple things out there that we got to get squared away. And I think that I heard Scott Bessent, the Treasury Secretary, he said, and I call it the market's got to breathe. In other words, if after it goes up, makes new highs, it's got to pull back and rest and do that. He said he called it a different term. He said it goes on break from time to time. This week been on break. I guess that's the way he was thinking about it. The way he termed it. I guess every trader's got a way they think about things. But it's a tough market. And what I do, I told people 2 days ago, I was tightening the hatches. I was not going to be putting a lot out there until I get a trend that's in line with the yearly trend, monthly trend, and all that. So anyway, those are kind of things that you do in these type markets, because I'm not good. I have to ask, anybody here good at catching falling knives? I'm not good at catching a falling knife. And I have to let a market, breathe and settle and then set up again. Okay. If that's one way of thinking about it. Okay. And, that's just something you do as you're doing things and all. But we got about time to get started, Chuck. I'm looking, the numbers are good, and we'll just get going here. Yeah, we've been chatting, but we have tomorrow, Chuck. We have our final class on SPX. That's Jonathan. I think is that at 9:45 to 10:30 tomorrow. That final class. I think it is. Do what, Adam? I'm sorry. Is it 9:45 to 10? Oh, it's at 10. They said it's at 10. Okay, gotcha. That's the final class tomorrow on SPX. Yeah, Shirley, they posted that link inside the SPX room, I think. Or
Tomorrow is the 199 class.
Oh, okay. Where do they get the link for the first class if they bought it?
It was emailed out.
Okay. All right. All right, folks, let's get into it. Thank you for coming. I know that I've been pretty excited about what I'm doing here because I think if you approach things with the idea, I really want to get better at the game of buying calls, buying puts, and then on the flip side of that, selling calls and selling puts, and then doing them together. That's what this class is all about. And I think I came up with the beta version of something that's pretty special in the fact that I set a goal. I said my goal is to, very simply, my goal is to get everybody that's in this little beta group accuracy at 70%. If you're in the beta group, y'all like that goal as our primary goal, get everybody at least 7 out of 10 trades are profitable. Jim had another big day. Look at what Jim just did, Adam. Goodness gracious. Congratulations. Congratulations. That gets you addicted to something, doesn't it, Jim? 2 days, over $8,000, 3,300 yesterday. Yeah. 10 o'clock tomorrow, user. 10 o'clock tomorrow. Let me ask you a question. When somebody like Jim shares with you that, he's a student of ours, are y'all as happy for him as I am? And don't you want to acquire that kind of knowledge? I mean, that's the way, if I was out there and I saw that, I said, Let me have some of that. I want to drink some of that Kool-Aid. But that's what I'm trying to do here, and I think that's evidence it works. And so you just got to listen and learn right now. Yep. Frank says, I'm ready. Congrats, Jim. Neil, you saw last night too. That's 8,800. That's pretty good. That's pretty good 2 days. Way to go. All right, anyway, I want to get into it. Join my YouTube channel, obviously. T-Buzz TV is very good. We'll put it out there. There's risk involved in trading. We know about that side of the game. You got to have risk. You're going to make those kind of rewards. For those that don't know, I'm a former Air Force officer, active trader since the 70s, former member of Chicago Mercantile Exchange. I might have told you I got my original membership in the boxes for Mobile. It was all framed and everything. I was happy to find that. I have 3 books, Winning the Day Trade Again, The Markets Never Sleep, and Trade to Win. Train and Trade is becoming a big hit. I think everybody tells me, encourages me to keep doing it. And I think that's great. I mean, it's just very good that Train and Trade is working good. Did you enjoy today's class? Tell me a yes if you made it. If you didn't make it, we'll be doing it again tomorrow. We'll be doing it tomorrow. Chuck and I and Jonathan and Adam really making sure everybody gets their money's worth on that Train and Trade. In my opinion, if we get above, write this down, this is my opinion, if we get above 64.38 tomorrow, the low today will be your risk going forward. Write that down. Everybody got it? S&P goes above 64.38, then the low that was put in today should be the risk for the rest of August. That's important to note. You know how to plan your trades from there. Seven Sisters update, everything's solidly green except for crude, which is solidly red, and bonds are dancing. This week we'll hear from Jay Powell on Friday, and Wall Street's made a big deal about this deal. Ten plays for the week. This was the 10 plays that we posted. If you look at that, it's pretty interesting because the market itself has been a little bit to the weak side, and you can see that we're laying in wait right now, laying in wait. All right, the SPX. I put a lot of focus on this, and I've got 2 mainstays. One is buying calls, buying puts that will happen between the hours of 9:45 and 10:30. 9:45 and 10:30. I also incorporated premium capture, which is selling options at the end of the day. That way you get both sides of it, and it all boils down to the setup and process. Today we had a class at 3:30. Who attended that class I did at 3:30? Gave you some insights about today, didn't it? When you saw it work. That was at 3:30 today. And we got that recorded, and I think we'll keep adding to that. This morning at Train and Trade, I showed everyone just what I mean. Here's a reminder. This is what I did with 1 contract today. I bought it at 2, a put option on the process that we're going to do. I exited at $7.90 on that put, and Chuck made reference to the fact I exited at the fact we're probably at our average true range at the lows where I got out. Okay, pretty good stuff. That's a good way to start your day. Did that trade about 10 minutes to 9. That option closed at 0. That's right, 0. Now, does that potential get you excited? That's what I'm talking about. We're going to get there. First, we got to get our accuracy right, and then our confidence goes up, and then we have no limits at that point to be able to go out and do what we need to do. My goal for the S&P Brader program is get everybody that's a member. Right now, I think we got somewhere around 40 slots left, and 60 people. My goal with them so far will be to get it all accurate at 70%. If I get you accurate trading SPX at 70%, you've probably traded every day. That's my thoughts. High accuracy plus high profit potential is a great combination, and that's where we're going to shoot for. This new service, trading SPX, will focus on Tuesday and Thursday. That's when I'll focus on it. Then you take what I teach you and you focus on it any day between this time, 9:30 to 10:45. And I plan on about 10 trades during this beta test to make sure everybody comes in at 70%. If they don't, then I will do it again until we get there. I won't give up on you if you will keep trying to practice what I teach. So 10 trades starting next Tuesday. I'll make the beta program simple and straightforward. No one will be lost. We'll do it through our Telegram channel. By the way, if you do sign up tonight, get in that Telegram channel. Chuck is already starting to post background material for each day that you'll need. Here's a look at what will happen if you hit my goals. This is what I'm shooting for. How many people here would be jumping for joy if you get to this level after you get accurate and you do this? Would that just make you smile all the way to the bank if you could do that? With this, you've got the opportunity to do this. Now, this does not include the XSP, but this includes the SPX. What do you think? Tell me what you think. That accuracy, by the way, will transition over to other trades that you do. These are my goals for the morning SPX trading, but that's not all. I've had a huge bonus. I'm now including my XSP Premium Capture program in here also. With the XSP Premium Capture, I'll show you a simple setup to check each day and decide whether you want to be a credit spread that's long or a credit spread that's short, and give you all the details how that one works. We'll do that one twice a week also. The capture program, anybody can access it with an internet, expiring either next day or no further than 2 days. Well, 3 days, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. It could be 3 days, same time every day, same time every day from 3:30 to 4. It's all will be included in the trade in the Telegram channel, which gives me the ability to wait to that option. Does everybody know that option does not expire to 4/15? You got to know that. Okay? Pretty cool, isn't it? New service trading SPX XSP, focused on Tuesday and Thursday for trading. The time frame from 9:30 to 10:45 will be to shoot for that 70% accuracy. Time frame in the evening will be about 80% there. 4 out of 5 will be right on that one. I can tell you that one. I've done enough of them. And I plan to give about 10 trades during the next 2 weeks of the August beta time period. So if you're ready to join me, take these remaining spots. Do not hesitate. We're narrowing in on finishing out. So who's ready to join me? Do it. $2,000 membership, dtitrader.com/SPX beta. It's for a year, but it's actually longer than a year because I'm not going to start the official program to mid-September. Now, this Friday, I've got another class scheduled at 9:45, and that session will be a demonstrated live trade session if it sets up. So be there Friday to apply what I've been teaching to make sure everybody gets it. Okay? To make sure everybody gets it. 904-706-3532. If you got any questions at all, I don't want to leave anybody on the sidelines that wants to join. Call the number 904-706-3532. After signing up, you're offered a chance to upgrade to our Pro Masterclass series. On your order, it's a pretty good order. We got a whole bunch of stuff planned out over the next year, and this will qualify you to be there. Add on next year, take your tier or trading to the next level, which is what we're doing. Okay? For those who take action and join today, you'll be qualified to add on these additional training sessions. Here's an example of some of these to supercharge it. Topics like how to use the SPX and XSP together. The 5 criteria to let SPX run after entry. That's what I did today. And honing in on that technique, okay? How to know if you got a loser after you get into a trade. I'll give you my tips. Name of the service is SPX, 0-day trading alerts program. The beta period will last until September 15th. I will not start this program on September 15th unless everybody tells me they're at 70% accurate. Just make sure you listen and get up to speed. We'll test you. Times will trade 9:45 to 10:30, 3:30 to 4. I will do over 100 trades, lead you in over 100 trades over the next year. The beta time period has master classes of no limit. It means I could squeeze in, and that's the way it'll work. Now, let's review. New service starts immediately. It goes to September 15th. Then your subscription will run from there. The Telegram channel is included. We'll post trades in real time. You don't have to start looking for trades. We'll post in there during that time period. We'll have them. Be ready to access those. Again, over 100 trades. Think about that. 100 trades doing minimum lots at 70% accurate. You realize how valuable that's going to be? It's going to be pretty good. I'll have as many master classes as possible between now and September 15th to make sure everybody's accuracy where it needs to be. If we achieve our goals with accuracy and risk, this will be your go-to trade each day, regardless of what the market goes. Remember, it's a one-year membership starting on September 15th. We're cutting it off at 100. Today's recording is found live at dtitrader.com/YouTube. That's the one I did today. Go look at it. Now, any questions? Anybody got any questions about what we're talking about here? This is so important that you join us. Now, talk to Kelly, talk to Jeffrey, talk to Kareem. Anybody here tonight will be able to answer your questions. Do not leave tonight. I promise you that those slots will disappear on you, and you don't want to be cut out. You saw what Jim did? We get everybody like Jim, and y'all be wanting me to do it besides those 2 hours of the day. That's just great. I tell you what. In fact, I think I might try to do something. Okay, I might try to get to Jim and interview him maybe next week. I'm thinking if he'll be so kind, you know. Devitra, you got to sign up. That's what you're getting here is the ability to learn this stuff. This stuff, hey, I didn't get it for free and I can't give it away. So you got to sign up. Got to sign up. What you're going to learn is worth anything, far above anything you'll pay. I promise you that. Jim is a star, Laura. Jim is a star. Laurel, I would contact them. They'll help you. You'll contact that broker. They'll help you. I've done that before. Yeah, Brandon, I'll get Jonathan to call you tomorrow. Jonathan, see the message. Make sure you call him. Take care of him. Schedule a call with him. Be glad to, Brandon. Yeah, but it's pretty exciting. You know, let me tell you, it's pretty exciting that you can go in with these techniques and get paid that kind of money and not have to go overnight with the position on that SPX. It's a big boy. It is a big boy. Anybody got any questions? I know that you've heard me give this a couple times, but it's pretty simple. It's straightforward. And it's really designed to keep it simple because I think sometimes we complicate things too much. And I don't think that, you know, it really is something that you would want to complicate. You want to keep it straightforward. Any last minute questions for me? No, Mark, and I'm glad you brought that up. Okay. Okay. Well, Anthony, I'm sorry you feel that way, but you're wrong. It has to have at least a day expiration to go to 415. Okay. Yeah, if you call Kelly, Jim, she'll handle it. Get a hold of Kelly, she'll handle it. You can do it on the same day. You can do it on the same day. I prefer to go a day out on the premium capture.
Hey, Tom, I was just going to let you know you're definitely right because I've experienced that the past 2 days with my dailies. At 4 p.m., they're gone.
Yeah, yeah. If they expire the same day. Yeah, absolutely. Monday night, Polly. Monday night. Any other questions? You're welcome, Polly. You're welcome. Way to go. I'm glad to hear a success story like that. I get it. You know, sometimes I just get, my mind gets to thinking about, you know, what's happening in the current market. You know, if you look at it right now, it went down during this presentation, it's popped back up. Of course, I follow futures and I do that, but been doing it a long time. Any last minute questions anybody might have? All right, the plan tomorrow is finish the second class, and from there, the beta test will be official to start, I guess, you know? Yeah, I like the class that we did today at 3:30, just to review some of the things that we use on selling premium. You know, having been doing it for 40 years, you learn a few things that maybe somebody might not know. Yeah, they record it. Joe. They definitely do. They record everything they possibly can, and we do it. You know, and I think that is the good news. And you know, you do what you got to do. Correct? Everybody understands. Tuesday and Thursday, I will lead you in these trades in the service. In the morning, it'll be a directional trade. In the afternoon, it will be a premium capture trade. Might be the same day I capture premium for, or it might be 1 day, 2 day, or 3 day, depending on what the market's doing. I'm gonna give some flexibility there. You enjoying it, huh, Neil? Well, I'm glad you found me, and I think you'll love it. Think you'll love it. All right, folks, let's get signed up. Market, I think, made a low again. What number does the S&P have to go above to use these lows that were created today? Okay, 64.38. If the S&P gets above 64.38, then what you can do is you can take, you know, Palantir, for example, went to 143. You won't see it again in August. You'll see higher prices. That's an example. I can use that insight. Okay. That's the value of, you know, figuring out the direction and then playing, you know, prevailing move of that direction. All right. Well, thank you. And I will see everybody tomorrow when we kick it off for Thursday. See everybody at 10 o'clock. And hey, you'll know in the morning at 5 in TNT what we're doing and how we're doing it. All right. Thank you.